Sippers, we're here in the Waterfront Hall, 29th and 30th November. We'll be here for two big live Tea With Me's. One show sold out, still some tickets left for the other one. The link is in the description or go on the Waterfront Hall website. As for the lineup, we're keeping that top secret, okay? But four of your favourite comics spread over 2 nights and it's what? Go back up, go back up, go back up. Not supposed to be in shot. Like we rehearsed. Did it again.
Just down there.
Go back. Sipper. I don't want to do it. Just by tell them just put a post up with texting.
Sippers get ready. When people get ready. Sippers get ready for tea with me.
Sippers, welcome to this episode of the Tea With Me podcast with me, your host, Shane Todd. Before we get into this episode, let me tell you about a couple of things. Number one is Patreon. If you want to see some of the back catalogue of Tea With Me specials and be in the right place to watch all the upcoming ones that we're going to be doing over the next while, you go to patreon.com/Tea With Me podcast. The link is in the description below. We've got it all up there. Did I make this up or do we have me and Kieran's tennis match?
Yes.
Yep. I mean, you forget about that's a deep cut.
Yeah.
But you've got time I challenged Kieran to a tennis match down in Hollywood and we got an official referee who was bought and paid for by the Goblin King Industries. We've got Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We've got all the live ones. If you want to see the Tea With Me live episodes, that's where you watch them. The first Stars in Your Eyes that we did in the Limelight. Speaking of, 18th of December. It's the first time I've said it right. Ulster Hall. Tea With Me Live. They've now gone on public sale because we sold a load on Patreon. Now we've opened it to the public. If you hear me talk about anything in the episode and you want to know more about it, go into the description for the episode. That's where we put it. ShaneToddComedy.com if you want to come and see my European shows. My Dubai show on the 6th of December in the Zabil Theatre. It's all on sale, ShaneToddComedy.com, and we added a Millennium Forum Derry date as well. Tea With Me live in the Waterfront Hall, 29th and 30th of November. Mickey Bartlett, William Thompson, Dave Elliott and Andrew Ryan. What a time to be alive. And then when we've done that and then it's filmed, where will it go? Patreon. It's a circle of life. This episode of the Tea With Me podcast is sponsored by none other than Manscaped. These bloody nutcases over at Manscaped, do you know what they can't do? They can't just relax. They can't go, we've conquered the male grooming industry. They're always coming up with something new. Like the Chairman Pro.
Yeah, Chairman Pro.
Because, you know, they could have brought out the Chairman Amateur, the Chairman Semi-Pro, whatever, but they don't. They do the Chairman Pro. And let me tell you, this thing is a razor for your face or your head as well. Like maybe you keep them the same length, like who am I thinking? Shane Ward in the X Factor days.
Yeah, I'm not sure he still does it, but...
He has long hair now.
No, I thought he was going bald.
He has long hair now.
Turkey?
No, he always had a good hairline. He just chose to shave it. And I think with long hair, Manscaped is somewhere you could go because he's got a nice beard too. So there's products for all styles, all looks, everything like that. The Chairman Pro is great. We have one of them here, and we gave one away. We're giving one away in a future episode coming up with William Thompson. Keep your eye out for that. Manscaped.com. Use the code TEAWITHME for 20% off and free shipping. The link, of course, for that is in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, my esteemed guests this week are a returning favourite and a first-time guest. Two comedians from here, from this part of the world, that have that sell their wares in London. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
They sell their wares out there. Yeah, they live in London.
They live and work.
And that's where they gig. But luckily for me, they're on tour at the minute, so they're able to come in. My guests are Vittorio Angelone, who's been on the pod many times, and John Meagher. Now here's the thing. I spoke to Vittorio before the start of this episode and I said I've known John for years and I've heard 20 different impressions of his surname. I've heard pronunciations. I've heard Meagher, I've heard Mar, I've heard Meagher. I hear all different pronunciations. So here's what I'm going to say. Please enjoy this week's episode of the Tea With Me podcast with Vittorio Angelone and John. I suppose we're talking about the influence of Italian families in West Belfast.
It's ice cream shops and touts.
Food.
Yeah. Scapatici and Morelli.
No, but like, and Raffles.
Oh, Raffles is fish and chips, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Victor's Cafe, which was like my great granddad Vittorio, Victor's Cafe was like ice cream and fish and chips. But I think it was ice cream was
On
like
the one plate.
the
Whoa.
All your needs, blend it.
it's the next chicken and waffles.
Chaffles all over again.
Where was it? Where was it?
Castle Street and then Divis Street. It moved and then got burnt down. I think that's the story I've been told.
Yeah.
It could have been an insurance thing.
But it seemed like they came over here and were like the food isn't great. Food scene isn't great. Our ice cream must have been substandard because all I feel like it took was like 3 Italian families to come in and go, there's a gap in the market here.
Do you reckon we had ice cream? That sounds like a really stupid question as I'm saying it, but like, when did ice cream happen?
I feel like we'd have been late to come into ice cream.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like if it wasn't for like your family and 2 other families coming over, I don't know if we'd have ice cream yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been like Ben and Jerry would have been the pioneers of it.
They had it sewn up for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, but they
And
then,
Häagen-Dazs.
you know, their black and tan ice cream. Do you hear that? That's one of my favourite things ever.
Did you not hear about this?
Ben and Jerry's on one St. Patrick's Day a few years ago released a commemorative Irish ice cream and it was black and tan. Someone did not read past the headline on what is Irish? What can we do Irish? Coffee and chocolate or something?
Low hanging fruit, but Ben and Jerry Adams. Am I right? Am I right?
It was right there for them.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that. I love very done intro. By the way, it seems weird that we've just gone into the pod, but guys, great to have you.
Thanks for
Showing
having us on.
Ballymena tonight.
Yeah, not
The Braid.
Yeah, never done Ballymena before.
Brilliant. The Braid Theatre is excellent. It's
Yeah,
run by
absolutely.
good people.
What's it like when it's like half full?
I don't know. No, I'm joking. I've done that theatre as the comedy club back in the day when there was. So what it like? They have the big theatre room, which is where you're going to be, and it's brilliant. But see if there would be like, we've sold 30 tickets, and they have other rooms that are they have other like 30 capacity rooms, and you go, oh sweet, that'll feel great in that room that it's built for, and they're like, nah, it's in the theatre. I'm like, why is it in the theatre? Because the other rooms are brilliant, but they'll do like cabaret. There'll be like 2 tables in a 400 cap room with 8 people around. I've done that kind of thing before, so I've played there when it's great and played there when it's terrible, but it's great now. Like, and the way they do the tiered seating in there is brilliant.
Okay.
And there's a myth around gigging in Ballymena.
That it's shite?
The gig, the myth is it's Bible Belt. Like if you mention anything, if you swear or mention anything other than local politics, and you've got to be on one side of local politics, they'll hate it. Bullshit. I've had great gigs there.
Yeah, I would
really
assume
good.
those people aren't going to stand-up comedy gigs.
Yeah.
Well, tonight as well, I think
That's
I
what
kind of
Mass is
fucked it.
for.
It's Ireland versus the All Blacks.
Right.
So I feel like we're
the All
missing-
Blacks and Tans. Do you as
No,
to
Joe Biden said that, didn't he? He said that the Irish rugby team beat the Black and Tans.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
He
Yeah.
genuinely said that.
And you know what? He was, in a way, he was right. But I think he was getting his dates wrong.
And you saw when the England football team had like their all swanky suits,
right?
and they were all, did you not see, like, it was like the Euros, I think, and they had like their team photo in their like new fucking sponsored by Next
Yes.
suits, and they were all in black and tan. Like those were the 2 options of suit, and everyone was like, "Is this deliberate?"
I feel like I'm a guy who's just been unfrozen. What do you call it when you're unfrozen? Thawed. Like I've been cryogenically thawed, and you're like, "Have you not seen any?" And it's any reference from the last 20 years. And I'm like,
Demolition Man.
I haven't seen it. As 2 guys based in London, where's the place around London where if people here were talking about Ballymena and going, "You don't want to gig there," it's actually great. But where's the place near you guys where people go, "Oh, if you've got a tour show
It's
there"?
not near, but like Hull is the like in England where people go. That's just where everything goes to die. It is one of the grimmest places I've ever been in my whole life. Hull. Like,
People say like, is it was. I know Milton Keynes is like this, but people say it's like a manufactured place. They just built it. Is that wrong?
Yeah, it was big dock.
Hull is like a dock, like it's a shipping town. So I don't think it is that kind of like. It's not like Bourneville.
We also just had a very strange night in Hull.
Yeah.
So
It was the point in the tour we were all just a bit fucking knackered.
I thought you were going to say like Diddy party in Hull.
No, but it did feel like that was happening.
yeah, it felt like that was probably happening, but we weren't invited to it.
Right.
There was nightclubs that were in the building that's in the shape of what a shop would be. Does that make any fucking sense? Where it's like a commercial let building, big. The whole front of it is a window, like a glass front,
Yep.
But instead of it being like a co-op, it's a nightclub.
Right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
the
Yeah. I
windows are
understand.
just steamed up, and you just see these mad like lights and
Right,
all
yeah.
happening. And then we went to the pub after because Hull was just so weird. We kind of needed to go to the pub. And you know, one of those where you're in the small room and then in the big room of the venue. What was it? The Jersey Boys?
No.
No, it was.
Hold on. Sorry. The official
No,
Jersey
no,
Boys
no.
is not coming. Maybe to get a folk duo from Jersey.
It was
but
a tribute act, and because after the thing, the guy's van had a different band that he was also the tribute act for. I was like, these guys are raking it in because they had filled a giant space.
It was big. It was big.
I mean, to be fair, now you probably could. Frankie Valli, like,
He's still
could
going.
do Hull. Have you seen my impression of Frankie Valli?
Please. Frankie Valli, Joe Biden.
Sippers, let me interrupt you for a quick second to tell you that this episode of the Tea With Me podcast is sponsored by our friends over at NordVPN. Here's the thing right now. See with these sponsors, they send you helpful info. They go, you could talk about this, you could talk about that. See with NordVPN, I'm not much of a believer. I'm not passionate in the product. Dan, you can turn that off the screen, but don't actually, in case I do need to reference it at some point. I'm about to do the international leg of the tour. I'm going all around Europe. I'm going to the Middle East in the new year. At some point, I'll be going to America. And when I'm away, I'll be missing my Irish League football highlights. I'll be wanting to watch things on BBC iPlayer, on ITV Player from here, because I'm passionate about local television. And to do that, like, I'll go to do that and I'll go to log into these apps and they'll say, you're out of the country, you're not in the right area for this. That's where NordVPN comes in. It's an app that you put on your phone, and VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, so it tricks your phone into thinking that you are wherever you need to be. So it does so much more than that, but if you want to say, actually, I am in Belfast, your phone, couple of clicks, thinks you're in Belfast, you access the content from there, and that works for anywhere. You could say you're in America, you can access America programming and highlights of sports, things like that you might like to watch. There's also threat protection feature. Whenever you're using like Starbucks Wi-Fi or whatever with NordVPN, you will be protected. Your personal information is protected. One NordVPN account can be used on up to 10 devices, which is absolutely brilliant. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, you go to nordvpn.com/teawithme. That's in the description. And our link also gives you 4 months on the 2-year plan for free. There's no risk with their 30-day money-back guarantee. And I say the link is in the description for that. Thank you to Nord. Go check them out. They're absolutely amazing. I've told the story in the pub before, but I took my dad maybe 6 years ago to see the real Frankie Valli. Was doing MEN in Manchester, and big fan of Frankie Valli. Me and my dad.
Big.
Yeah, and like, I love Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, and my dad like always played that music for me. And Frankie was probably like early 80s or even mid 80s when we went to see him, and that feels like ages ago now. And he gets up on stage and he is like young Four Seasons behind them, and these guys are doing all the heavy lifting. Like, they're great dancers, but they're all like in their mid-20s. Yeah. And Frankie was a wee bit past the sell-by date.
He's very winter.
This guy gets up and he's like, no, and he's not dancing obviously, but he's standing up there and he's no perfect on everything, no falter, no perfect on everything, and everyone has this look where they're going, he's lip syncing, but fair play.
He's there.
It's still great, and we're still seeing him. There's one guy in the whole arena who has no idea Frankie Valli's lip syncing, and he's beside me. My dad goes, "What about that voice?" And I'm being like, "Yeah, I know, like lip syncing." My dad goes, "Still got it." I went, "I don't think he has it. But it was a great night."
I remember seeing James Brown. Seen James Brown twice before he died. Just before he was the support act for the Foo Fighters.
What? No.
Yeah,
what?
it's amazing. So the Foo Fighters in the heyday when Oxygen was happening, they headlined Oxygen.
Yeah.
So Dave Grohl heard that James Brown was broke and was like, "That's James Brown's not allowed to be broke." So
I thought you were going to say he took advantage and was like,
so
30
he bought out his
gig.
entire back catalog. Yeah. No, so he took him on tour, and so the first time he seen him was Oxygen. He was there when they were there. And he had, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but not by a lot, 400 people on stage playing different instruments.
No wonder he's broke.
It was all his sons. It was all his kids. So one of them came up and he introduces the whole band, and they're doing an intro the whole time, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, but it just keeps going. James Brown, at my vantage point, I can see him in a wheelchair at the side of the stage in blankets, just like this. And then, and again, after this guy has name checked everyone in the band, and he's like, "Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you ready for the Godfather Soul?" And everyone's like, "Yeah." James Brown gets out of his wheelchair, and then you can literally see him like pray for some power, and then he gets to the microphone. Hi, what up, bop, ba-dum, bop, and he does his wee moves, and then he just goes straight back to the wheelchair, sits down, and the guy introduces the band again, and that happened, no joke, easily 3 times. And then about a year later, I seen him support the Foo Fighters. It might have been in Belfast. Exact same thing. And the only other time I've seen a person like a lead singer in a wheelchair like that was I seen Guns N' Roses a couple of years ago, and they were doing the West Ham Stadium, and Axl Rose was the same. He was like, Slash was doing some like 20-minute long solo.
Yes.
And Axl was at the side of the stage just getting oxygen in the chair.
But what's his issue? Is his a health issue? Is
Just
it not
old.
age?
No, then he came on, and now I'm going to sound like your dad here. Still got
don't
it.
love you, son.
The voice,
Oh, sorry.
note perfect. The
You're not
voice-
mine.
No, yeah, note perfect. He was brilliant, unbelievable. And then, but he would hit the high notes, do a song, and you could see him ready to be like, "I'm gonna die." Back to
I think he's climbing Everest. The altitude of the stage got to him.
He's blacking out. It's like-
Fair play. James Brown.
Maybe it wasn't James Brown.
You can't. You can't just say he's blacking out because he's up there doing soul.
Wait, I was still talking about Axl.
I know.
So in a way, you're a racist. Did you just drive me here in the taxi?
Michael Jackson.
Black Soul.
When he
Heard
was,
about him.
when he was doing those comeback gigs at the O2, they were like, this is one of my favourite things in the documentary. They're like, you see him like doing rehearsals, and his backing dancers are amazing. They're like kids, like they're amazing. It was in his rider. They were incredible, and he's up there like, and he's trying to sing, dude, and he can't move, like, and probably like the wheelchair situation. And then the promoter goes, if we have to cancel these shows, like if you can't do this tomorrow rehearsals, we're cancelling these shows. You're liable for all this. They're like, here's Michael the next day, and I swear to God, the guy's like fully like doing everything, like he's doing everything, and he's out dancing these like 19, 20-year-olds and like moving around, and they're like, Michael must have just, the message really got through. I was like, did the message get through or did the needle get through?
Here. Also, then he died.
Yeah.
It killed him to do that.
Yeah.
They built them a wee room in the O2. There's like a special secret Michael Jackson room in the O2.
That feels like a trap. Like,
I think that's true. You go through a dressing room and then there's like a secret door that's like a bookshelf.
What was in the room?
You don't want to know.
There's all those kids.
Nightmares. Collected nightmares.
Yeah, so he's got, because he did like a month, didn't he?
yeah.
But then, so because Peter Kay recently broke that record of like most nights at the O2, like his residency thing. Do you think Peter Kay has a room at the O2?
Did you just get a room at some
Just full
point?
of garlic bread.
Moment silence.
You'll have a room at the Opera House eventually.
I would love that. I'm 2 behind the record. The overall record.
Who's the record?
I've got the record for solo performer, but I'm 2 off the overall record, which is 26 performances, and that's
Panto
Laurel and
every
Hardy
year.
and
Sorry.
Morecambe and Wise.
Which is what I'm working wise?
Laurel and Hardy and Morecambe and Wise. Wow. So I feel like I'll just do like, and I don't care if it doesn't sell 1 ticket, I'll just put on 3 shows, not ticketed, and then just have the record.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that so
No new
it's-
material, I'll
you
just be
booked
there.
the building more than everyone.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah. But I would love, like, but I don't like I don't take advantage of dressing rooms or anything. I just like everyone to be in the one space.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
don't. But they're like, you can go separately. Like we've been on tour since like January, and I don't like, unless it's a real fucking pokey place where it's like 1 chair at a table.
Yeah.
It's like, can we all just like sit in a place? Because it's a lonely enough thing.
What's been the low point of the tour? What's been the high point of the tour?
Oma, low,
Oh my god.
Low?
low.
Boys.
Here.
I will say this, as much as that is a room. So where did you play? Did you
Dilly's.
play Dilly's? Room very close to my heart. Love it. When it's pumping, one of the best clubs
Everybody
anywhere.
says it's the best room in the world, and that made
Here's
it
an
all
issue.
the worse.
Here's an issue. Getting food around it.
Oh no, the food was great. We went for it. We had a great
we had a
meal.
nice
yeah,
one, yeah.
So meal wise, one of the best.
Here, I'd go back to the restaurant
Show-wise.
second, as long as I don't have to go into Daly's again. It was so bad, Shane. A friend of mine from Oma who wasn't at the show messaged me and was like, I heard that was really bad.
Because I go on before the support act. So I
Had
do
you
like-
played it before?
No.
Right. It is brilliant. Right. It's just
I've been told by
a
lots
bad
of
The
night.
people.
club might be good.
But this just
Club's
makes it
brilliant.
worse.
Yeah.
This just makes it worse.
Okay.
So I go on for like 5 or 10 minutes before bringing on the support act. You know, say hello.
I got
get
the,
them
also,
on.
the context of this is the night before was Vicar Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first, like, the biggest show of the tour, Vicar Street the night before. Unbelievable buzz. Like, never felt anything like it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Oma, you're like, this will be a good fun one. Back in the clubs, you know, like having a good time. I go on, and like, I've basically got like a little 5-minute thing
Yeah.
that I've written before I bring on the support act. And just like, doesn't really land. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm like, you know, performing it too big because I was at a bigger place yesterday. And then I'm like, oh, well, maybe chat to them a bit. Like maybe like they've seen the crowd work videos or whatever. I'll do a bit of that. Nothing gets anything. And small town thing of like, you go, what's your name? And somebody else, like
Yeah,
the
the
other
guy from
side
there
of
was
the
like,
room is
"Oh,
that's fucking
yeah."
Brendan.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
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 Do you not know Brendan? And I go, no, I'm
Yeah.
not from here.
He's some crack. You're like, he's not. He's just staring at me.
Yeah. So I nothing, and then I'm just like, okay, and I just kind of do the little bits. I go, got a brilliant support act, good friend, please on stage, and like I've gotten, like some people say like 0 laughs. I mean, actually
Yeah.
0 laughs.
Yeah.
I go, bring John on, and I'm just like, oh, sorry. Like, as you know, as you're shaking hands, like,
I was like, I'll turn this around, don't worry.
Yeah.
No.
The cavalry's here.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll get this. No. I was like 5 minutes in. I was like, well, that's all the material.
And it
so-
just never got going.
and then break, and I come on for the second half. And it's all the worst because I've got these fucking giant inflatable bowling pins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. You put effort into
You
it.
just feel insane.
Yeah.
I'm there and like going on with sunglasses on. I've got like it's a whole custom bowling shirt thing. And there's a point in the show where I lie down and all. It's just like and then the end of the show is a fucking nightmare. I basically like scream for like the last 5 minutes of the show.
It's a big close.
It's insane and to silence.
Yeah.
I'm just there like ah!
You're just in a room.
And I'm like, there's merch at the end, but don't talk to me. Like fuck you.
Yeah.
And I just drive back from Oma. It's just.
It's a long drive.
And then Ulster Hall's the next night.
Right. Was that good?
Amazing.
Yeah, we're back.
Like best show ever, but it was just with the
Yeah,
highs and
yeah,
lows
yeah.
in 3 days.
Yeah. Now, let me get your opinion on this before we talk about touring as well. I go for a quick piss before we record when I'm downstairs. There's a book in the bathroom. What is it?
We get some mail on a regular basis from a fan
Okay.
of.
It's a book about God, right?
What?
It's fiction. Well,
Fanfic about God?
Yeah.
Sorry, that
the
must
Bible?
be a thing.
No, there's
No Bible.
there's God's in the title of it. I didn't get a proper
I'm
look
not
at
sure.
it.
Yeah,
The God
It's not
Delusion?
really- It's not really your type of. No, it's a sort of self-published.
That's not really my kind of book because it's a book.
And it's-
But
yeah.
does it pop up? Then no. But I wonder what your opinion on that is. Are you guys a book in the bathroom guy? Because I find that the weirdest thing. When people
We've
have
got
like a
phones
stack.
now. Like,
I was for a bit. I was trying to not bring my phone in for a shit. And I
But-
was trying to be a book person.
But how long are you there for? Like,
No, less time than when I'm on my phone.
I drink a lot of coffee, so not long.
yeah, but I can't understand these novel. The idea of sitting there.
No, but isn't that for people who don't like their lives? Like, they're not
They're
in there.
it's dads.
It's sauce.
Yeah, they're just please God, I can just be. I can
Yeah.
be.
You hear dads say that all the time where it's like,
It's me
that's
time.
the only time I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Jer Staunton, you know the.
I know
comedian-
Jer, yeah.
Jer's brother. Jer told me really funny. So he went to see his brother, and I think his brother has a rake of kids. They're all girls, and so he's the only man in the house. And Jer called to the door, and his brother's wife. He goes, "Oh, is he in?" She goes, "Oh yeah, he's up at his looking window." And he was like, "What?" He goes upstairs and Jer's brother just has like a window that he goes to look out. like that's his place.
I mean, that's very.
I hope I'm not speaking out of turn.
That's
but
very dependent on what it overlooks.
it just feels
That's
like
okay,
nothing.
thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, in the middle of the country, but he's like, that's where he goes to.
I like that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a looking
Escape.
window.
Yeah.
What would you want to look at? I once stayed in a flat in New York that overlooked the football stadium. That was very cool.
Oh, that'd be great. I like just like people watching, but I'd feel weird from a window. I like sit at a cafe, especially if you're on holiday or something. Watch people go by. What do you think they do for a job? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like
Reacher
it.
Settler. Did you ever play the Reacher Settler game?
No.
Couples.
Yeah.
Who's reaching? Who's settling?
Oh.
That's a good bit of
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
That's a good bit.
That
of
is
fun.
fun. John, I stayed at your house in London years ago for a gig. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
This wasn't-
well, also because
This wasn't our sordid history of I gave you the worst gig ever.
No.
no,
No.
it was before that.
No.
Okay.
But that was in return because I don't know if you remember, but the first
You
time
stayed in my house? 'Cause
In Edinburgh.
I don't know that happened.
So I went to Edinburgh. This is years ago, and this was like classic. I turned up and the Airbnb didn't exist, so I'd booked an Airbnb for like 2
You just
nights.
booked a concept.
I'd booked what I thought was a building, and then I got there and it wasn't there.
That's pretty classic. To
Yeah,
Be fair.
and I was like, "What? I didn't know this could happen." It was at the really early Airbnb days, like, and I was like, "Oh, what do I do now?" And put a thing on Facebook, and we didn't even know each other. And you messaged me and was like, "Here, I heard you're stuck. There's a spare room at mine." Do you remember any of this? No. And we, so I was like, "That is very kind." And someone, while you were there, I think Jamone came to look at the flat to see if he was going to buy it.
That's right. I think it was. So I'm in a flat for the month.
Yeah.
This is.
It was nice.
This is
Yeah.
years,
It was
years
so
ago.
long ago that it was a nice flat that you could afford then. Like,
My mate let me stay in it. He played rugby over in Edinburgh, and I bought that while he was playing, and he just gave me it for free. And he went.
Wow.
The only thing is, he's like, 2 things. Number 1, I need you to sand the worktop for me. I went, great. I'll get someone to do that. Got my dad to do it. And then secondly, he goes, people will come and view it, so I might need you to like nip out at certain times. And I was like, yeah, of course, no problem. And then the estate agent would get in touch with me and be like, someone's coming at 4 o'clock, whatever. And then one time they were doing like a last minute viewing, and the estate agent went, you don't need to like leave, like we'll just bring the person in. And I was just like sitting in the kitchen doing some work, and then Jim Owen crane, like just his comedy face, just like crane round the door.
Big eyebrows.
And I'd met him
Big
before, so it was like it was great. But yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. But I don't remember
yeah.
being so nice.
So
That's a
that
really
is why.
nice thing
That's
I did.
how then I was like, oh, if you're ever in London, you need somewhere to stay.
The next night, I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what gig I did. But I remember your hospitality was very nice.
Yeah. It's not anymore.
When did you move over?
11 years ago.
But you didn't gig here beforehand, did you?
I did. No. So I went over to visit a friend of mine, and he lived with a comedian. I was like, didn't even know how you do comedy. Classic thing. And that guy signed me up for an open mic while I was there visiting. Did that, came back, did the Pavilion, did White's Tavern,
Oh yeah.
and there was nothing else.
Right.
And I was like, I'm just going to move to London.
Right.
And did that. And then you guys built a empire.
Yeah.
I was like,
We just watched you
I'm
leave
not
on
going to
that
do it. There's nothing.
Start.
Yeah, there's nothing happening here. I'm leaving. And everyone's like, I think we've got the knowledge and get to energy.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
I see you
yeah.
later. I'm doing open mics in a fucking basement for the next
I'm
6
doing
years.
bringers for 6 years. Grow
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
alright?
I'm doing a Barry Manilow style residency in Hull here.
Yeah. Dirty Dicks on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Actually went to that a lot of people won't know that's a real place.
Yeah.
I went there once because people were like, they'll just put you on. This is like 12 years ago or something, maybe more. And I went, and the guy, I was like, I'm a comedian, could I get? And the guy's like, no, fully booked. And I didn't have the confidence to just leave then, so I stayed and watched the show.
Oh
It was
my
awful.
God.
It's so bad.
And I can't stress how bad that would have been.
Yeah.
Like, it was like comedy.
Are
open.
bad gigs in London worse than bad gigs here, if that makes sense?
Yeah, because my general feeling is you'll have audience here, and the audience over there, especially when you're starting out, is a room of open, like comedians, but there'll be guys doing comedy who are open micers that have been doing it for 20 years.
Right.
I'm not exaggerating. Like, who are mental to not stop. So, you know what I mean? Like, stop. Stop. You'll
be
it's
happier.
not, and there's people who do it as like, oh, it's a social thing. Not them. That's guys who are like, I am going to make it. I am that guy. And I live
The
in my
reverse
coat.
motivation coach.
Yeah.
doing it.
I was doing this the other day to someone. I was like, whenever anyone says to me, I'm thinking of stopping, I'm like, you should. Why would you, if you're not happy, why would you keep going?
Yeah.
Just stop. Especially if you're 20 years in and you're still doing dirty dicks and you're not even headlining.
Yeah, you're not even doing 7 at the end.
But then they have the bringer thing, which people here won't get at all. Comedians here don't even get, where you have to, for stage time, you have to bring audience members with you.
Yeah. Generally one. And in New York, I know there's places you have to bring like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
But London, generally, it's like you have to bring one person along to the. And what ends up happening is comedians just like exchange bringering. So you just like go and watch some shit open mic so that somebody else will come to yours like the next week. But my girlfriend did it for fucking like ages for me, and that was a real impetus. I was doing a gig in Camden called Funny Feckers, and I remember once they're all they're all so weird about it.
Can't tell you how hard I dislike that. Only thing worse was at a festival down south once. I can't remember who was on, but they called our show the Nordie invasion or something. And the term Nordie obviously doesn't offend me in any way, but it's just Nordie and Fecker are 2 of the worst.
Nordie feels very
The Nordie
derogatory.
Feckers tour? 3 of us?
Oh god, yeah, we all just hate it. People are still coming up like, oh, I can't wait to see these guys, but everyone's embittered because of the title.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I don't-
So, and they're also weird. Like they have these little, like they have their open mic night that they run, and they're buzzing about it, and it's like a bringer. And the pretense is always like it's a bringer until we can build up like a local audience, and then once it's good, then we'll do like a pro night and start paying everybody. This has been a bringer for 8 years.
Yeah, it's never happened that's happened.
and was always full. Like it was always rammed to the gills full of people, and they would like turn audience members away.
Right.
Like actual punters. They were like, oh, sorry, there's too many comedians' mates in there.
Right. But they don't want to be there. The +1 doesn't.
Yeah.
The broad.
Nobody wants to
doesn't
be
wanna
there. The comedians don't want to be there. The people don't want to be there. The bar doesn't want you there.
But they're also precious about their wee thing. I remember Mickey was over doing the store. He was like closing the comedy store. And I was like, he was staying with me. That was the first time I properly met Mickey. I was like, if you need somewhere to stay, he was just doing like a tour show or whatever. And he came to stay with me and my girlfriend. One of like the funniest thing ever of my like little English girlfriend meeting Mickey hungover for the first time, just like in his pants in our corridor, just like, I'm sorry.
With a lightsaber he's brought with him. The only thing he's packed, a lightsaber and a VR headset on. Sorry, daughter.
But I said to the guy running this like open mic, everybody's doing 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, I've got a mate over. He's doing the story. He's coming to like watch, just because Mickey was like, oh, come watch the show, whatever. And I was like, is there like a spot for him? And the guy was like, yeah, but he can only do 5. And I was like, right, but why?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but all these people are shit. I'm shit. Why?
But they treat it like it's a prehistoric. It's like this is set in stone.
you do 5.
Can't be changed.
You do 5.
Yeah.
Anyway, same gig, a different time, because you just go back for more. Once you've got the bug. I was upstairs. My girlfriend was my bringer at the time. We stood there. It's us 2 and then 2 comedians, but like very open mic shit comedians, and they're having an argument about who had the worst relationship with their dad and who was on more mental health medication.
Right.
And my girlfriend grabbed me by the arm and went, you need to get a lot better at this very quickly.
Yeah. Well, she can go and see you at a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She chooses not to now, but at least she has the choice.
The Nordie thing was anytime we were doing a gig down south, that was always, I think, Galway, and then there was a Dublin one.
I always like when people get like I like when they come up here and say stuff wrong. You know what I mean? Like I remember there was a comedian from Galway who was on it, like Lavery's, and he was like, I'm from the West, and I was like, you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what that means.
Oh
here.
yeah.
I'm from the West.
I feel like I used to go over and do like, at the very start I would get the cheap, those like £12 flights to London, and do like. Do you remember Monkey Business? Is it still going?
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah.
The guy in the purple furry fedora. Or like the top
Martin
hat.
Besserman
Yep.
is his name.
I remember going over those and I was like, this is the epitome of gigging there. So I booked like £12 flights. Obviously, could only afford the like 7 a.m. flight over there, and the show was at 10 p.m. at night.
And you spend all the money you saved on the flight on food during the day?
Just in Costa or Pret or whatever.
You spent 30 quid on coffee.
And then I would ask to go on, like, people want to go on early at that, but I'd be like, put me on as late as possible. Because I'd be getting the like midnight or 1 a.m. bus to the airport, sleep in the airport. And I remember those gigs. I thought those gigs were like...
This is so like, this is you practicing for Diary of a CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
Now, of course, I wouldn't do that because of fuel. Because I'm fueled by fuel.
I remember doing that
He loves
gig,
you.
and we there was nobody in the room except the comedians.
Yeah. We don't need to do this. Let's just say we've done it.
Yeah, which is the dream for me.
Yeah.
You know, the dream is you book a gig and you're like, class, I got booked for a gig, especially then. And then the dream when you got there is like, we're pulling the gig. And I'm like, I've got
You're
my
still
night back.
getting paid. But you're still getting paid.
Oh yeah, no, there was no getting paid at Monkey Business. But so we're up there and I'm like, right, well, there's no one here. So and he goes, no, I'm going to go round downstairs and ask. It's in Camden, right?
Yes, yeah, I
So
did
like
that one.
quite touristy. And he brings up 5 people. Nobody speaks English.
Right.
And he's like, the gig is going ahead. and at that point, I'm like, I'm now in.
Yeah. Oh,
Same,
okay,
I'm
yeah.
like, I now want to see how everyone does.
Yes.
Not just me. I'll actually probably stay longer
Yeah.
than that. And after the first guy, 3 of them got up and left. So now there's just 2 French people. I remember one of them had a twirly mustache character.
Yeah.
And I was like watching breakdowns, you know, my own as well. Everyone else. And that is the London comedy scene.
Do you love it as a city?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's a brilliant place because once you like, I think.
I mean,
it took-
not just comedy.
Yeah.
I think it took me like 2 or 3 years to be like, oh, like and then when I left uni, because my uni was like in the middle, like kind of the financy bit, and I was like, once you don't have to go to the mad bits, like the really busy touristy bits,
Yeah.
like I hate Oxford Street, I hate Leicester Square, I hate all those, like it's just too fucking much.
Yeah.
But I love where I live, where there's like parks and like lovely like leafy bits and like all chill, like, and I know where the good kebab shop is, and like, although the owner of my favorite kebab shop, I've just joined a gym and he goes to the gym, and that fucks my head up every time I'm in there.
Right.
It's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. But
Gains.
But to be fair, like that's a lot of, like when they're shaving that meat, like that's upper body, like that's core. That's
So why are they?
I like how you do it like it's a sword.
Yeah, it's like Mickey with the lightsaber. Again.
Conan. Yeah.
Well, why?
That is what they do.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, but no, like that, it was just particularly graceful.
Maybe that's my true calling.
Strictly come dancing. If Chris McCausland could do it, you could get you on there. Like.
Do you know what? I love London, but I started going, maybe I should appreciate it more, because when you see how other people appreciate and love being in London, I started watching the Paddington movies with my kids,
Oh yeah.
and what Aunt Lucy would give for an afternoon in London, like that's her dream, that's her life's dream. And the way she looks at London and the way Paddington looks at London, you go, I should appreciate being here, because it is such a historic, amazing city in a way.
Whenever I moved there, my friend said, like, you get out of it what you put in, which is basically the same everywhere. But London is that you can find yourself going there, working, only staying in your flat because everything's so expensive. You can't do it. But if you make the effort to go out and go to see stuff, gigs, all that, it's amazing. Yeah.
Did you do what Paddington did at the start when you moved over?
Make sandwiches.
No, just get a wee
Kill the
thing
queen.
round your neck, wee
Kill the queen.
sign round your... Pardon?
Paddington, the scion of death?
Paddington Bear?
Yes.
He takes people. He's like the
Paddington Bear is
He's the ferryman.
He's the ferryman.
Takes people along the river Styx to the.
How, man, this is mad if you've missed this. Do you not know all the stuff with Paddington and the Queen?
Let's play a new game. Assume I don't know things.
No, this
I
was
swear
one of,
I don't know this.
I mean, yeah, like being
We're talking about the beloved Paddington Bear. We're talking about
yeah,
Paddington Brown.
and the beloved
Red
Queen,
hat.
some would say. Yeah,
Bear. Cool.
Bear.
Marmalade sandwiches.
Yeah.
Marmalade sandwiches. Very gentle for a bear.
Yeah.
Well. What about when Knuckles McGinty starts quoting
Knuckles
off Aunt
McGinty?
Lucy in
I did
prison?
the pav with him.
Paddington has the stare. If you know, you know.
The bear stare, like the Care Bear stare.
If you piss Paddington off enough, he'll just give you a stare to remind you that
I
good
am a
manners.
bear.
But
I'm
yes,
a bear.
And I
We
will
forget
rip
that,
your
don't
head
we?
off.
We forget that he's a bear.
well, that's it. He'll remind you, like
I'll never forget.
yeah, he'll remind. But sorry, tell me about the ferryman.
Yeah, so Paddington. So when the Queen died, everyone was like, completely lost the run of themselves over there, and the icon that people latched onto for some reason was Paddington Bear.
Because he was mates with her, wasn't he?
Yeah.
good pals.
So
Was that for the Olympics? What was it for? She was holding Paddington's hand or something?
yeah, she made sandwiches and all or something. Remember, she had a marmalade sandwich in her bag.
Yeah.
Daniel
But then
Craig
there was
there.
all these pictures of him leading her to like heaven.
Yeah, so people started leaving marmalade sandwiches out, and the police were like, please stop leaving marmalade sandwiches outside Buckingham Palace.
So
We've
great.
cleared away all the
Rats-
homeless people,
rats,
so they're
yeah.
not in any of the photographs. So we have no use for this anymore. Yeah, and Paddington, since every time somebody dies now, there will inevitably be Paddington Bear is the one shepherding into the afterlife.
Captain Tom. Who else has died recently?
Liam Payne.
Liam Payne.
Now, what's sad about that is it looks like Paddington's dead too.
Because he's
No, but
going.
he's
the friend.
There's a point where he
exists on a separate
he's a
plane.
bringer to a point.
He
Yeah.
does that thing in movies, it's like, I can take you no further.
Yes.
Yeah,
Awful Paddington. I can take you no further.
yeah.
I can take you no further.
Ben Whishaw.
Yeah.
Lovely little voice. Woo. He was in the original cast of one of my favourite plays called Mercury Fair. His character would have said a lot of slurs in that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so it's a thing in the play where they
You
say
catch Paddington
they
doing
don't
it?
just call people like the slur that applies to them. They call the other people in the play like every slur in a row,
Right.
and it's mad.
That's how they get away with it.
I
Yeah,
hate him.
yeah.
I
If you
hate
say
him.
all of them, it's okay.
That's a
I hate
very
him doing that as
Tommy
Paddington.
Tiernan.
I'm doing that.
I'm just saying there's too many of
doing
them.
Mercury Fair.
Yeah.
And he's Peruvian.
We
too.
only want the good ones.
There's nothing like a convert.
You came over here from a different
That's it.
country.
He's like them ones who voted Brexit after they got in.
I just think they should learn the language. He has a passport now. They gave Paddington a passport.
No, he didn't. They came out and clarified that. So someone from the Home Office was like, "We're giving Paddington a passport," and a journalist had asked number 10, and they were like, "We don't know anything about this."
No, but they had done it. So I heard that the
He's got
makers of the new Paddington film, Paddington in Peru, the next one's going to be called Paddington in Rwanda.
Boo. Boo.
But they
By the way, that'd be a great movie because you could bet he would make the most out of that experience.
Is this what you're saying the refugees should do?
No, I think Paddington would. No, I think the detention centre would be a brighter place if Paddington was around, just keeping everyone's spirits up. Because that's what he does in prison in the second Paddington movie. He's in there in jail and he fucks it at the end. He fucks it at the end.
What did he do?
In prison.
A bear in
breaks out.
prison?
He
He
breaks
must have been
out.
having some fun.
No, he. Okay, Brendan Gleeson's in it. He's Knuckles McGinty in the film.
Yes.
Brendan Gleeson is a scary chef in the prison. Paddington gets sent to jail for a crime he obviously didn't commit. Paddington wouldn't do that. It's not in his nature.
Paddington's in the Guildford Four.
That's what he would say, that he didn't do it. Meanwhile, he's planning the Queen's assassination.
Paddington's doing fire sticks. You know. So Paddington is having a great time. Brendan Gleeson is the chef. He's serving up this.
Wait, who's the
gruel. Brendan Gleeson.
I thought it was Jeremy Allen White in The Bear.
No. Right, just let me say this. Paddington.
Would you make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
In the Paddington
Sort of.
movie, Brendan Gleeson plays the chef. He's serving up this gruel for them morning, noon and night. The prisoners don't like it. There's a terrible attitude around the place. Paddington basically is like, oh, why does everyone not like the food? And they go, we can't say to the chef that we want it changed. Paddington goes, I'll say to him. And everybody's like,
Hard man.
oh shit. Everyone's like, but Paddington goes up, and of course, in comical style, Paddington doesn't just say, can we get nicer food? Paddington, there's a bit of slapstick. Anyway, Brendan Gleeson, playing the chef, picks Paddington up by the scruff, and he's about to attack him, when all of a sudden, Paddington's sandwich that's under his hat falls into the chef's mouth by mistake, and he tastes that marmalade. And he's like, "What the hell is this?"
How long's he been in prison at this stage?
Paddington?
Yeah.
Days.
Wow.
Marmalade
Days.
sandwich
There's
still
that
fine.
sandwich.
But Paddington's got a bit of heat on him because Paddington's
Toasted
in
sandwich.
charge of. You know, Paddington doesn't eat toasted sandwiches. Paddington's on laundry duty. That's his job in prison. By accident, he puts a red sock
Yeah,
in
it
with the
feels like
stripy
all gonna go
black and
wrong.
white prison uniforms. So he turns all the prisoners' uniforms pink. So all the prisoners are going to murder Paddington. This thing happens with the chef. They go, if you can get the menu changed, we'll not beat you up. It turns out the chef loves Paddington. Paddington starts making marmalade sandwiches for all the prisoners. Then they're doing cakes, all different types of stuff, and the prison becomes a better
Curry
place.
Thursdays.
So what I'm saying is, if Paddington was in the Rwanda detention centre, I'd say he'd pull a few strings, and all of a sudden Paddington would do what Paddington does, which would just make you feel a little bit better.
He's a
about yourself.
fixer. He's like Wolf from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I like that they turn the uniforms pink because that is what your man in Texas did. Because, you know, it's the like...
Oh, to shame the prisoners?
Yeah, to shame the
Yeah.
prisoners. So the makers of Paddington were like, that.
We're doing that.
Yeah, lads, we need another idea.
Hugh Grant's in the Paddington movie, and he's incredible.
Yeah, he's
in it.
excellent.
Brilliant movie. Everyone's in it. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's Matt. Brendan Gleeson's one of the best actors of his generation.
Yeah.
It's so funny that he's got a fucking
he's got Paddington.
Yeah.
teddy bear by the
But
scruff
what I'm
of the
saying
neck.
is, Paddington, Brendan Gleeson then starts to be a wee bit sly to Paddington, then Paddington gives him the stare. Right, I swear to God, it's not dissimilar to that.
Paddington's autistic. Newsflash, breaking news.
That's why he only eats one thing. Obviously, he's
That's why he
autistic.
goes in the trains. Yeah.
He loves trains. He wears a
trains.
weird wee
He only
hat.
eats one thing.
And he only eats marmalade
Train clothes.
sandwiches.
Yeah.
Guys, I love Paddington. I love
But
Paddington.
so the props department contacted the Home Office and were like, "Is it alright if we make like a spoof passport? Like, could you send us like what materials you use and any of that stuff?" And the Home Office were just like, "For a bit of crack, we'll just give Paddington a passport. That's
Yeah.
a bit of fun."
Notoriously
beloved
good
character.
crack, the British Home Office.
Yeah. Those good guys. And yeah, they just they like sent them out one and like did a little like just a good bit of PR. I thought it was quite nice. And the like everyone hit the fan. They were like, "What? This is a fucking waste of government." Blah,
Like,
blah,
we
blah,
can't
blah,
get-
blah.
Yeah, you get about these bloody Peruvian bears coming over here and they get passports and I can't even get a dentist appointment.
We're
What?
trying to go to Turkey in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm sweating on my son's passport.
Yeah, and
this
someone
fucking
said he's
bear.
trans as well, and that's I don't think that's okay. And we have
Do you
better
thi-
things to be spending our money on.
Do you think Paddington he knows what's called? So Paddington's like checking for Irish ancestry. He's like, I may as well get the Irish one too. So he's like
Right.
making sure he's got that. Then it opens the floodgates for fictional characters having passports.
Real passports.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph. He could do some.
I got told Foy Vance's daughter told me I look like the mechanic in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yep,
It's such a niche reference, but
it's pretty
I think I'll
spot
just
on.
accept it.
Have you seen the picture?
Yeah, I looked him up. She went, "You look like somebody from a movie." I swear to God, I was about to go Ryan Gosling and Drive. I looked it up, the guy in Wreck-It Ralph, and then I was like,
He's just like a
The
nice
worst guy to do.
mechanic toy.
Yeah, but
man.
he
you
has
said
big
that and I
ears,
actually got spots in my eyes. I was like, what happened there? Oh.
he has big ears. No? I didn't like it.
Do you not like big ears? Have I said this on this podcast before? I really like big ears. I'm such a big fan of big ears. I think they're the coolest thing ever.
That's why he's got me in support.
You have very long ears, if you don't mind me saying, but
Yeah.
not like you don't
I
have
love,
out.
Yeah.
I love that people just listen to this.
So two guys moving their ears without touching them.
Like, you both just stopped talking and started moving your ears. And to anyone listening, just went, "Did this just?"
I don't know if I'm doing it.
You are.
Yeah.
Can you do your nostrils?
I can do nostrils big time.
Here's
Oh
one.
yeah.
Bottom lip, just
Oh, that's great. That's great.
never met anyone else who can do that. No.
Can you do this?
I stuck inside here to come
Man, that's what made Steve Coogan famous.
No, Rob Brydon.
Rob Brydon.
Stuck in a
You're
tent,
right.
man, stuck
Well,
in a
to be
tiny
fair,
box.
that helped Steve Coogan because when Rob Brydon did it on their show,
Yeah.
more people saw it. I
Are you
guess.
excited for Saipan?
No, because I auditioned for it and didn't get it.
I auditioned for useless FAI coach.
No, official FAI official.
Yeah. We're reading through and Roy King goes, "Where's the fucking bus?" And you go, "I don't know."
I think that's bad. I auditioned for Gene McConville's son and say nothing.
Did you get close?
They weren't. No.
The kind of like famished, skinny
Yeah,
boy.
they were like, we need someone who looks like, things haven't gone very well. And I was like, all right, let's get this fat guy who looks like he's never missed a meal and very jolly, actually.
I was
so
movie.
buzzing about. I was like, I wore because I have the shirt,
Right.
like that year's Ireland shirt. I wore that in a little.
Can't believe you didn't get it.
So I said,
I wore the shirt. I was like,
said-
that saves money on costume.
I was on holiday when that audition came in, and I went, this is what I've been searching for, because this is perfect. Being such a big football fan, being such a big Roy Keane fan, and a Steve Coogan fan, it's all come together. And this is perfect.
And it's a nice little comedic, like light relief in a dramatic thing.
Shane, the part's already yours.
100%. Well,
This is pure.
here's what someone said to me. They're excited for your tape. Now, with hindsight, not getting it, they're probably like excited to just watch it in the office and be like, nah. So I did the audition in Mallorca, right? And I was like, this will be great.
That's very near where they filmed it.
Oh yeah,
They filmed in
Malta?
Tenerife, I think.
Oh, Tenerife, was it?
Yeah.
So I was like, this will be great, and I was so excited for it
I had a real buzz. I was like, this is perfect. I thought I really nailed it.
because the script's great, like those two scenes that you read for,
Great bit of fun.
and you can feel the character. But
My mate's playing Roy Keane.
okay, I thought you were going to say, but we need to find out who's going to play our role.
Oh, this is what I need to find out. It better not be Michael Fry.
If it's that, see, Michael Fry, if you take this another role from me, it's
I was with
over.
them yesterday. They're doing an RTE sketch show. I did a little cameo. Hello, little stupid role.
Don't work with Michael Fry. As fucking lovely
Persona
and
non
talented
grata.
as Michael Fry is, we don't work with Michael Fry.
It's bad news.
Stole
That
my
Michael
role in
Fry.
Dairy Girls.
Oh, no,
Say
I
stole
know.
the audition
Don't
for it
worry,
and
I know.
Did a better performance and got it.
It's the free market.
But I took that personally.
Have you ever seen the?
Fuck
Have you
Michael
been
Jordan.
on the other side of the
I don't
thing
like
of
Michael's.
seeing people's tapes?
No.
So
have you?
my wife wrote a thing, and she got all the tapes through for it,
For who auditioned?
for who auditioned, and like
That must have
firstly
been
I was
fun.
like, tell you what, some actors are incredibly talented. Like, secondly, I was like, some are terrible, and also I was like, some of them I knew because it was like
She
a
wrote
comedic role.
Saipan. No.
Yeah, she wrote Saipan. And but there was bits where I was like, oh yeah, they're very good, but like they're actually too short. That's very good. Oh no, but they're too tall. Like
It's the tiniest thing.
yeah, and it is like, oh no, I didn't like, oh gone, done. Oh, you didn't like, gone, done. I was like, oh my god, this is terrible.
I did a pretty big one a couple of days ago in here, and for the first time I took my time with it, so it was way better than anything I've done. I won't get it, but Dave Elliott's done like a load of stuff recently, like Blue Lights and some dramas type stuff that are coming out, and he's nailing auditions.
He's very
at the
good
minute.
in Blue Lights.
But I got him to sit with me, and we were like, so many times we finish the podcast and it's 3:15, and I'm like, I've got to pick the kids up at 3:30. Let's shoot this audition, and I'll do the lines once, like say, I'll fuck up the lines, say it once, done, and then I'm like, perfect.
See you later, yeah,
and I
yeah.
never watch it
Cut,
back.
print.
But and it's not a thing of I'm like, that was great. I don't like the idea of watching myself back.
Yeah,
I feel
it's horrible.
weird acting in front of anyone.
So yeah. It's
But
so
this was the first time I like watched it, slowed it down, took on a bit of advice and all that kind of thing. So what I'm saying is, Michael Fry, your acting days are
It's over.
no
It's
more
gone.
roles for you, my friend,
over.
because I've cracked. I know how to audition now.
You better have started a pension, Michael Fry.
Yep.
the best one I ever did.
Sorry, even in his own biopic, I'm playing Michael. I'm not. He's not getting that role.
Yeah.
If they're like, we're playing, it's a biopic of Michael Fry set in present time.
That's
I'm
fine.
going to out Michael Fry.
The problem will be if you're ever doing the biopic and Michael Fry gets the job. Then
How would you feel about that? Would you put him in it?
But
Would you?
He could
if they're like,
play
Shane,
himself,
we really like what you did,
But he couldn't play you.
he could play himself, and because that would be great for that
And
20-minute section of the movie dedicated to our beef, me and Michael Fry.
Okay.
I think it would.
I
work
could see me
better
and
if he
Michael
played-
Fry.
like a Saipan type thing.
He's Mick McCarthy. Let me
So
tell you
Steve
that.
Coogan plays Michael Fry.
Steve Coogan plays Michael Fry, and I'm Michael Fry
Budget
plays
for
me.
this film is amazing. This is unbelievable. Paul Mescal's in. Paul Mescal plays your
Here,
dad.
I'm gonna see. Like, I've taken my son to see a couple of movies, so in the cinema, so it doesn't count. I'm going to go and see Gladiator, and that will be my first time me going to see a film since Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm going back to the cinema for Gladiator 2.
I'm back in the cinema all the time.
that's
these
mad.
days.
You're on the road. What do you do just during the day?
Me and Willie T, when we're on the road,
Yeah.
Jim, Son and Nando's. Percy Pigs out of M&S. That's our day. Every day. I'm a little bit Paddington. We have the same day every
And I'm a
day.
little bit rock and roll.
And Willie does look like Paddington.
Yeah.
So we have the same day.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
Willie wore a blue anorak
That
and a red
is-
hat, forget about it.
He's close. He's very
What a
close, even
Christmas
without
outfit
that.
would be.
Yeah.
No socks and shoes, just dandering around the limelight. Here's our day on tour. We're gonna have hotel breakfast at about 8:30, 9. We're gonna have breakfast.
What are you doing at the hotel breakfast? Premier Inn type thing?
Depends on the hotel.
I'll go like a Motel 1.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, if Premier Inn's handy or whatever, then yeah, Premier Inn. Just depends where we are.
Are you having a cooked breakfast?
This is what the question was. Are you doing like full cook
Okay, I
breakfast,
have a
Cocoa
system.
Pops? Fruit?
Really, you want to know my system?
Of course I want to know your
Right.
system.
I'm bringing in my own plastic bag first of all.
Shut the fuck up.
What are you
Bits in
talking
it.
about? And they still
promise.
let you in?
Yeah, I have a plastic bag with stuff. So, I just did Cork there. I'll show up to the hotel breakfast with a carrier bag.
Best crowds
It's a-
ever,
yeah,
by the way.
it's-
Best crowds ever.
Also important to note,
Unbelievable.
amazing food everywhere.
Right.
So, but you're bringing a plastic bag.
But he doesn't go to food places either. He goes to Nando's.
This
No,
is,
I know, I understand that, but at a
which
hotel, like,
transcends food.
what are you bringing that they
Now
don't have?
opening soon a Forest side as well. What's in the bag? That's what I hear you ask. So in Cork, I'll tell you what was in my
What's
bag.
in that bag?
I had some Element pouches, potassium, magnesium, sodium. So what I'll do as soon as I walk in,
And by element you meant as in like the elements.
the company
like the periodic
LMNT,
table. Okay. I don't know
Right.
what that is.
Yeah.
sodium,
God, I feel
potassium,
so
magnesium.
old.
Huh? Electrolytes.
Those are just elements on the periodic table. Is that what they're
Look
called,
at it, it's
elements?
sport, right?
No. So I go in.
Look at it, it's sport in a bag.
Let's take a break from comedy. I go in. I go in. You work there, right?
I do.
Hypothetically, we've got to go back to comedy.
What's happened there?
You work. You work in the Motel 1.
Are we?
This podcast takes
Is this
you
real?
places.
You work
Yeah.
in the Motel
This
1.
is big.
I work in the hotel one.
And I want you to
I've
play.
been promoted.
I want you to be Michael Fry playing someone working in a Motel 1. So
You work in the motel one now.
No, I'm just coming down for
Well, I'm
breakfast.
playing you, playing. Okay.
I'll walk in, right? You say, tear
Oh,
coffee?
welcome, sir. What's your name?
No, just tear coffee.
No, if we're doing it, Shane. If this is an Motel
This is
One,
why you're not getting
Motel
these
One, Motel One might
Yes,
be watching.
and
Yes, but why?
no,
okay.
not yes, but
Okay.
Yes, and
Okay. Sorry. Actually,
What's your room number?
401.
0401.
I apologize.
Oh, he's one
I
of these
said,
guys. No, it's fine. I found you. Great, sir. If you just want to take a seat anywhere, would you like some tea or coffee?
Could I just get a cup of boiling water first, please?
Yes. Yes, you can.
So I'm sensing an attitude here. I don't think that's a big deviation from tea or coffee. Just if I could get a cup of boiling
Yeah,
water.
no problem. We
For
can
this?
do that. Yeah. For one, what's that?
None of your business. You don't need to know.
Well,
what's
you're
in my
in.
bag.
You're technically in my hotel, so it is my business.
Yeah, but I can. Yeah, but
Sir, I don't like your attitude. First of all, I'm going to get my manager. Here is my manager.
this is when I go. Well, I'm going to get my bear to give you a stare. I'm willing to just.
Okay, so yeah, no problem. Here's your hot water.
Thank you. Take my hot water. Electrolyte pouch in. What I had in Cork in my bag as well. We scoop of creatine. Stir that up. Get my vitamin D tablet out the side.
Imagine you're sat beside that.
Well, that's why I asked to get put in a corner. Because I don't want anyone to see
I
me.
thought nobody puts baby in the corner.
Then I have
this is serial killer behavior.
in there. I have
Michael Fassbender. Yeah, that is.
thank God you didn't say fry. I have a little like a Chinese spice plastic little plastic container
Right.
that you might have in a restaurant. They would have all their different spices there,
Or like a house, yeah.
or in a house. I have that with almond butter in it.
What?
I put
Right,
almond
okay.
butter in it. because I know they're not going to have almond butter.
Yeah,
and I
fair
love
enough.
almond
That's
butter.
fair.
So I'll order. Could I get the porridge with just water or almond milk, please?
Yeah, which would you like?
Almond milk,
Sure.
please. Perfect. I get that. Scoop in my almond butter
To the
Right.
porridge?
to the porridge, and then I'm gonna go up to the fruit, and I'm gonna get myself.
Is that one of the members of staff?
Then I'll say, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the
Can I get out of frame?
where the
the apples
banana is?"
are?
And I'll get banana, not apples. I'll get banana,
Not apples.
not apples.
Not apples.
I'll get
so
banana-
deadly serious.
Banana,
immediately.
strawberries, raspberries, stuff like that. That goes into the porridge. Mix that up. I've got my porridge. Then I will have a wee fruit bowl on the side that I'll be selective about because they put apple in with like
Fruit salad,
melon,
stuff.
pineapple,
Grape.
grape. Doesn't need to be there. But so I'll fish that out, and then I've got a bowl of that.
Fish out the apple? You're anti-apple?
Fish that, and then I'm out.
Android guy.
Then I eat my porridge and my fruit. Then I go back and have a cooked breakfast.
Right.
So you have this like fucking concoction.
I've got a carton of almond milk as well in the back.
Have you ever asked them, can you make the porridge with this?
Ooh.
Oh god, I think you've just given people a job there.
I should do that, but then I've got my cooked then I have my cooked breakfast.
What do you have in the cooked breakfast?
Eggs, bacon,
What type of eggs?
beans, gluten-free toast. Either fried or Michael fried or poached, but like not runny.
Do you have to
So
bring
boiled?
gluten-free bread, or is that just assumed?
I will assume hotels have it.
Most
they
places
will.
have it now.
9 out of
Yeah,
10,
yeah.
especially hotels, they'll have it. But that's one where they're like, okay.
See, when you said 9 out of
More
10,
work.
especially hotels, as opposed to, like, we're talking about hotels.
I mean, 9 out of 10 hotel, but I fuse two sentences. 9 out of 10 hotels will have them, and I go, especially when you go out places, especially hotels have.
Here
have
also,
the
you're not
gluten-free
always in a
alternative.
hotel. For instance, and I don't know if you know this, when we do Killarney next week, we're in a hunting lodge.
So good. We're going to go hunting.
No, well,
For what?
we're not. For
what?
It was just, yeah, this is what happens when you put me in charge
Well, we
of
went
booking
because
places.
I asked the venue because it's at the INEC, which like has a hotel like as part of the thing, and I was like, said the Shine or whatever, like, do they have like a discount for performers, in the hotel? And I think probably what happened on the hotel's end of the phone is, yeah, if they sell tickets,
Right,
but this
right,
cunt's
right.
getting fuck all.
Right.
They just came back and were like, this is how much it costs, and we were like, oh, that's shitloads, so we're gonna go stay in a
In a hunting lodge?
Yeah.
I love you're like, we're just renting out a
That's
hunting
option
lodge.
2, yeah.
Yeah, it's a five bed hunting lodge.
That's where you want to speak to Jer Staunton's brother and get a
A looking
Oh,
window.
these guys have
A looking
looking windows.
Sure,
Don't
there'll
you
be
worry
a
about
looking
that.
window, yeah. A shooting window.
What do
Yeah.
you hunt? Game?
Vibes.
I don't know what game. I don't know what game.
Yeah.
Game?
I don't know what they do.
Fowl?
Yeah, it must be something like
Wildfowl.
that. Either way, he does not have gluten-free bread. I can tell
Yeah,
you
he's
that.
not gonna.
No,
have
he's not gonna
gluten-free
have-
stuff. Yeah, Killarney. There's
No.
almost no chance.
How long is that going to keep you going then?
Keep me going.
Well, that breakfast you've just
Are you skipping
described
lunch?
What ti-
is a kingly feast.
That's big.
I don't skip meals. If I'm having that at what time? 9? I'm
Well,
good for
you
lunch
tell
at
me.
like 12:30.
Lunch
Half
half 12, and then what's is it? Are you double Nando's in every day?
No.
What's the lunch spot?
We'll go Wagamama lunch, Nando's dinner.
What's is it? Katsu
Why
curry?
are you
Duck Dunbury.
possibly?
Duck Dunbury?
Crohn's disease, John. It's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Eat like a king.
Come on,
Internal,
Crohn's.
internal pauper.
Shit,
Yeah.
shit like a sieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I can eat loads. Yeah.
That's so good.
Uh,
But we're on the Nando's train on the because it's just
Yeah.
so safe.
So easy.
It just works, and you can get something a bit healthy.
I'm doing
Although
Nando's in Dublin tonight.
I've started with this fucking online coach, and you're like, I'm making good decisions. For the first week of it, like, you had to like send him pictures of everything you eat, and I sent him like my healthy Nando's order. I was like 6 thighs, broccoli, coleslaw. I was like, I fucking nailed this, and he was like, that coleslaw's a bit high in calories. I was like,
Here,
if
tell
this-
me,
if-
tell me your first day.
Oh, the first day, yeah. First day I had to start sending pictures to this online coach guy. I was doing this like interview for my mate's wee brother who's making like a YouTube show called Supper in a Can in Glasgow. And he's just like a mad wee guy who like wants to be a YouTuber and interview people. And I was like, yeah, I'll come on and do it. And so day one of like sending pictures of everything I eat to the personal trainer, he was like, right, what was for breakfast? I sent him a deep fried slice of pizza, and then like a fish supper.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, that's day one.
11 in the morning.
And the rest of the day, I was like, why am I so grumpy?
Right.
And John was like, you've eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like
You've eaten the
walking.
heart attack special.
Yeah.
And John knows.
Elvis, you had a heart attack, that's right.
Yeah. Grand now, don't worry about it.
Not ideal to have one.
To have one, yeah.
4 days before you went to the hospital?
I would love that to be true. 6 weeks.
Did you know you'd had one though?
No. No. I didn't know, which is why I didn't. Like, no.
What the fuck?
But I
thought
wonder
it was-
if you have a heart attack and then it's done.
It's
and
not
you're
like
okay.
the movies. It's not like the movies. You don't. I didn't get that.
Where were you when it happened?
I was having breakfast. I was eating a bowl of like muesli, trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
Ironic. And
Did you go?
like I talk about it instead, but like I just felt this, and this is mad. I'd been at the gym the day before. It was like chest day, and and then I got this weird feeling of like it was like almost like just kind of a weird pressure in my chest. It was like a bit of a pain, but I was like, oh, like that's probably from the workout and eating muesli, like, and so you know, because you get, you know, I was like, it kicked in.
You know when you get so healthy, you get tightness in your chest?
Yeah, it's thermogenic. I was like, I'm losing weight already, and just got a bit nauseous, and then I was like, oh, that's weird, and I did have the thought, am I having a heart attack right now? And then I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Like I was only like 34 or something. I was like, nah. And then I remembered going, I'll tell you what's never happened when someone's having a heart attack. They've never continued eating breakfast.
Yeah.
So
Usually
I
especially if
forced
it's
down
disrespectful.
another couple of thing moves, and then it went away after a few minutes. All the feeling just went away, and I was like, oh, grand. I just went to work, and I listened like a few weeks later. I was listening to Kevin Smith, you know, the Jay and Silent Bob, and he had his big heart attack. And he was on this podcast, and he was saying that when he went in to get treated, they were like, this is your like 5th. And he was like, I've not had a heart attack. And they were like, did you ever feel like a bit nauseous, like sort of wavy over your and he was like, and they're like, that's a heart attack. I was like, oh, maybe that's why I'm tired all the time and I can't walk really anymore. And I should go and see a doctor. And I did. And they were like, hey, heart attack.
Wow.
Grand now.
But you have to like, did you get
I go
stent
for
in it?
check. No, I go for checks all the time, but I'm fine. I didn't have to get the thing. I've got like I have a problem that is basically stress related. Like stress is what caused that.
Yes.
But like as long as it's monitored, it's more. This is so boring, but there's more chance of it going wrong if they went in to try and fix the problem than it being any sort of serious issue. Remember we were having crack 5 minutes ago? That's his fault. I never want to talk about that.
No, but no, that's interesting at that, because I 100% if I thought I'd had one would just be like, but it's okay now.
What was funny was like
You might have just saved my life.
My wife and I went to New York not long after, and we were sort of walking around, and my wife was complaining because she had blisters in her thing, and I was like, do you know what else is not? Do you know what else is so hard to be walking around New York?
My broken heart.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna die if you make me climb one more flight of stairs. So,
Well, I think we should put your heart to the test, and let's go have chicken and waffles.
oh,
Chaffles.
Chuffles.
Chaffles.
Sounds
Book in
good to
an
me.
appointment for after, I think. Like,
just let it go.
Vittorio, John, thank you very much for coming on the pod.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for having
Thanks,
us.
boys. And the rest of the tour,
Rest of the tour around like the UK and Ireland, there's like maybe 10 or 12. When's this come out?
we'll put the link in. Oh.
20th of November. There's some dates left. Maybe there's stuff. There's stuff happening. And John's going on a tour. John's doing stuff.
Tour next March. I have a show in Belfast on the 25th of November. Go to my Instagram, John M Comedy.
Nice. Where is the show?
The show is currently. I can't. I'm having
it's
a
in
problem with the
Belfast.
venue. It's in Belfast. Yeah,
Belfast.
Yeah. I don't want to say.
You don't want to confirm it because it's fallen through twice now.
Okay. But it's
Here, break news 3 times. Yeah,
in Belfast, though.
in Belfast.
This is terrible for your heart. Let's get him a venue.
Find
I'm
John a
saying.
venue.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Thanks, man.
Let's get ready for tea with me.